Hey class, I'm gonna see if I can try a old school type lesson on subtracting fractions. This goes with lesson 22, but I'm gonna go over a lot of concepts that could help you pass several of the lessons that are coming up. Some of you are far beyond lesson 22, which I am so proud of you, but there's some kids that I just went ahead and bumped up so that we can move on together. Anyway, there's three different strategies that Zern wants you to know and that I want you to know about subtracting fractions. So I put a sample problem up here, 3 minus 2/3, and then I also put a little reminder, when you're done, make sure your answer makes sense, that it's reasonable, okay? So just kind of think about it before you just go, okay, I'm done. So there's three strategies. I put them in red. Decompose, we'll talk about that one. Use a number line to subtract your fraction, and then use a tape diagram. And I'm hoping if your parents are wondering how this works, they might be watching too. So again, I'm new to all this, so try not to judge me too bad. Okay, anyway, so I'm going to show you how to decompose the 3 so that we can take 2/3 away from it. So I'm just going to write the 3, and then I'm going to, my class, you should remember how to decompose a fraction. I'm going to make these into 3 parts because 3 has, 3 parts to it, of course. And I'm going to split them into thirds. So I'm going to show that 1 whole down below is 3/3 plus 3/3 plus 3/3. Okay, pretty easy so far. By doing that, I can do the subtraction and I can take away the 2/3. So this would look like, over to the side, I would put these back together in a whole number 2 because those are each 1 whole. And then I would take the 3/3 minus the 2/3 to get 2 and 1/3 because 3/3 minus 2/3 equals 1/3. So hopefully that is one strategy you might like using. That's actually one of my favorite strategies. If you're a visual learner, using number lines can really help. So I'll show you how to do the same problem using a number line. So you would put a 3, a 2, a 1, and a 0. And I split it up so that my biggest number, which is the 3, that's the beginning number that I'm subtracting from, is the last number over here. Your number line doesn't always have to have a 0 at the bottom. You could stop at 1. It doesn't really matter. So now I'm going to partition or split up my number line in between the whole numbers so that they're in thirds, because I just want to concentrate on thirds. So like this one's 2 and 1/3, 2 and 2/3, and then 3. So I'm not going to label them. I just want to make sure you know I split them into 3 parts. So then I'm going to do that over here as well. Okay, so far so good. So now I'm going to start at the 3, and I'm going to subtract 2/3. So I'm going to go backwards because I'm subtracting. I'm getting smaller. So I'm going to go minus 1/3, and then minus another third. And that means my answer is right here on the number line, and I am going to label that 2 and 1/3. Okay, so that's number lines. My last way to do subtracting fractions, another strategy, is to do a tape diagram. So this is a visual representation of how to do this problem as if we had fraction bars right in front of us. But as a 4th grader, you can use pictures instead of just having the fraction bars. So again, I'm going to split my fraction bars up, my tape diagram, into thirds. So you can see that this is 1 whole, this is 1 whole, and this is 1 whole, and that equals 3 wholes. Now over here, this would be the 3, okay, and this would be a 0 if you think about it like a number line. Kind of think about it like that. I lined it up on purpose to kind of show you that. So now to finish solving this problem using a tape diagram, I would cross out 2/3. And then I would see how much am I left with. So I'm going to change colors here. So I'm left with 1 whole, 2 wholes, and then 1/3. So my answer, and I'm showing that on my picture too, my answer is 2 1/3. So I showed you how to decompose a fraction to subtract. I showed you how to use a number line to go to the left because it's getting smaller. And on a tape diagram, I showed you how to cross out the fraction that you're subtracting to find out what's left over. Okay, hope that helps.